it's Tuesday and it's time for our Tuesday talk. And today we're talking about rights of preemption in a standard contract. So over to you, Suzanne.
So today I just wanted to tell you about some of the standard contract clauses, and one of them is the right of preemption. So in France you've got two main rights of preemption. The first is for any village property, so very often the mairie will have a right of preemption. So that would mean that even if you've agreed to buy it, they would have the choice to preempt and buy it instead of you at the same price and same conditions. If your property is outside the village, and so in the countryside, you've got a separate organisation, which is the SAFER, that stands for Société d'Aménagement Foncier et d'Établissement Rural.
Well done.
Those are the SAFER, it's known as, and they intervene when there's any amount of land being sold in rural communities. They have made some changes recently, which means that their normal processing time for the delay is the same as an urban right of preemption, which is 2 months from the time they're instructed. That's usually after the initial signature of the promesse de vente at the notaires or by power of attorney. The SAFER have recently changed so that you can actually cross their path with silver and get it done a bit quicker.
And how much would that be?
So for a reply in a month, which is actually now gone up to 35 days, it's €100, but that does depend on the region. It can be more expensive. And for a reply within 2 weeks, 15 days, it's €220.
Okay.
The SAFER have the right to refuse speeding up or fast tracking the application. Often that's when there's known to be people who are interested in the land parcels, or when they're just busy or it's the summer holidays, they can refuse to do that. The other thing you need to be aware of is that they can do a partial preemption. So when there's lots of parcels of land, they may decide that they're only interested in X number of those for the agricultural well-being, if you like, of local farmers. But that can be argued with the notaire. So often we can kind of get around that. It's all or nothing for a sale. They would have to intervene then on the same basis as the sale's been negotiated. If you're just selling a plot of land or some land in a rural environment that's been used for agriculture, then it's highly likely that the SAFER will intervene. So never think that you can buy a property with an acre and buy 10 of the acres next door, because even with the best will in the world, if the vendor wanted to do that, very often you will get an intervention via the SAFER. So if you need land, best to buy it from the beginning with a property, and then you're less likely to be preempted.
And they always have to buy the house with the land?
They can do a partial preemption, but the argument is that if that ruins then the sale of the property, because the main attribute was the extra land, then often they can be requested, if you like, to buy the whole rather than doing a partial preemption.
Okay. And how, in the many years that you've been doing this, Suzanne, how many times has the SAFER decided to buy property?
Actually, it's kind of increasing. So land is getting more sought after, and big farms are sort of amalgamating more land. So it is a bit more frequent.
Okay.
I would say it's, I don't know, we might see 3 or 4 a year, though. It's not as common as all that.
Okay. If
you've got a farmer already using the land of the property that you want to buy, then it's very likely that you're going to have an issue with the SAFER. They might intervene on their behalf, or the farmer might, because they won't want to give it up. Okay,
and we always point this out anyway, don't we, when we've got a property on sale with that kind of condition as such.
We do, and talk to our clients as well and say, be careful, because if you allow people to use your land, even when there's no written contract, it's just verbal, you do have to be careful, because there are accumulated rights.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.